In this swing trade ideas video, I will give you my analysis and trade ideas I'm watching for 2 FAANG stocks, 2 follower requests, and 2 gold mining stock I picked. Just be aware these are just trade ideas, not financial or investment advice. Also, the trade ideas are mostly for short term, so be sure it matches your time frame. And let me know if you like these type of video or not by posting a comment to let me know. I appreciate very much for your feedback, so I can decide on continuing to make more of these videos or not. And be sure to smash the thumbs up to help me promote this video on YouTube. Looking at Apple here on this weekly chart for those traders that are trading for a little bit longer term than a couple of weeks. Just kind of give you some idea here. You see this Apple has been making a lower high, and they also broke this pivot low here and came back up and checked it a couple of weeks ago and unable to get back above it. So right now it appears that it could be setting up a little bit of a double bottom, a little bit of an intermediate double bottom. If that is the case, then look for a potential break back above this level here, which would be somewhere around 150, 151. And if we could break above that and we do a little bit of a major move here to see what that will trace out, and that would be possibly come up to this 163. Now, if it doesn't make this double bottom move, then we essentially are looking for the possibility of break below this low. Then we are looking at this possible level here, this 120 area for the next potential support area for Apple. Now, this is for a little bit of a longer term type of a look. Now, we're going to go and take a look at the shorter swing trade, that last 1 or 2 weeks. And here's a daily chart that I'm looking at for potential swing trade for the coming week. You can see that I have identified the upper range for the expected move for the next week, and that would be somewhere around 143 and 30 cents. This area here, this is the upper range of the expected move, and here is the lower range of the expected move for the coming week, and that would be somewhere around 131 to 129. Now on Friday, we essentially got a little bit of a liquidation break from the long, and it's been sticking around right here between this 138 point of control here. So next week, if it continue to come down and break this value area from Friday, then we're looking for a move down to this 134, this point of control that was made back here on May 20th. And we'll see where we get a bounce out of this value area and back up for this 138, this point of control from Friday. And that would be the area that we will look for potential swing long on Apple to go back up to this 138. And if we could get out above this value area on Friday, then we'll trail it up to this upper range of the expected move near the 143 level. Okay, that is one of the possible long scenario. The second possible long scenario is that Apple decide to just bounce and break out of this value area. We look for a back test. So essentially it's a test and go and targeting 143, this upper range here on the expected move. So that is the long scenario. And if you want to play the short, then basically look for a break of this value area and short it down to this 134. And if it doesn't unable to get back above this value area and continue to break down, and look for this 132 point of control and into the lower range of the expected move down at 131, 129. Then the other short scenario is wait until it break and fail to hold this zone here, this value area from May 20th. Then look for a breakdown to come down into this range here, the lower range of the expected move for Apple. Now let's take a look at Tesla on this weekly chart here. For those that are looking for a longer term trade, then look at this weekly chart here, because on the trade idea that I'll be talking about will basically be a short-term swing trade. not the longer term swing trade. But in any case, I'm gonna go and give you some possibility on the longer time frame swing trade. As you can see here on Tesla, you look at it, seems like it could be try to doing this little bit of a channel move. Right, so if you are thinking that here Tesla might get a push up to make a lower high, then you look for a break above this 800 level. But if you are looking for Tesla to break to a lower low, then you look for a breakdown from this 663 area, this essentially potential high volume area where it got a lot of trading activity, and possibly come back down to somewhere inside of this 500 area here. That's for the longer term type of a trade for those traders that are looking for a longer than 1 or 2 week type of a swing trade. And now I'm going to talk about the shorter time frame swing trade, and that could be a week to a 2 week time frame, and it could even be days, right? So right now I'm basically looking at this daily chart with the daily volume profile. So let's go and take a look at the volume profile first without the candlestick. And you can see last week we're basically looking for a possibility of a swing trade up to this area here into this zone here. And as you can see, it got close to it, but never got up to this 780 area. So this week we're essentially looking for the possibility of this area here, Friday's value area, to be at a pivot point. And if it continue to come down, then we're essentially looking for this thing to move down into this balance area here that is established on 5/20th to 5/25th, and look for it to come down, tag the somewhere around the 640 area, and see would it be able to break out of this balance area. Then we look for a long here to swing it back up to a very short target of this point of control at 696, essentially Friday's point of control. And if we could break out this value area, then we'll target up back up to this 740 area, and then troll it back up to this high volume node here, this high volume zone somewhere around 780. Now, in addition to that, I also have established a upper range for the expected move. Next week expected move, the upper range will be between 755 and 776. So this 780 would be outside of this expected move upper range. So be careful on that. Basically, even though we are targeting 780 on the upside, we might not get there, or we might spike up. You never know. So just kind of pay attention and don't get too greedy when it get up to this upper range here. Okay. Now on the downside here, I also have the expected range for the bottom of the expected move, the expected move down here, 620, 626, and 638. So look for this move come down into this range, then see would it be able to get a bounce back out of it, then look for a break of this value area for potential long if you want to play it for the long side, right? I would not go and try to short it down here on this break, because we never know how much of a downside will Tesla experience before we get a bounce, or if we get a bounce, right? So I would rather just kind of hold back on the short right now and essentially look for potential long. Unless it break this expected range, then all hell is gonna break loose. So those are the scenario. All right, let's take a look at Amazon here on this weekly chart here. As you can see on Amazon, it looks like there is a double top here. And last week it finished up with an outside bar. So we'll see will this high or the low get taken out next week. And that will kind of give us a clue on the direction that it might take. Now let's go and take a look at on the daily chart with the volume profile here. First, just looking at the daily price action, to see that there is this head and shoulder pattern here. If we take a look at this daily chart, and here's this low volume zone here, and that appears to be the neckline of this head and shoulder. And if we do a major move on this head and shoulder pattern, and looking at this 100% major move, and that would bring it down to 112. You could see last week it came down and took out that 112 major move level here, and also took down this virgin point of control. And up here it is balancing right here at this high volume zone here. And if we just take a look at the volume profile, and what I have mapped out is some of the high volume balance area. Here is this balance area that it broke down from last week, and that is somewhere around this point of control at 115.20. And on Friday, it got this 109.84, so it's about 110. So for the coming week, I'd be looking for the possibility, if it continue to move down, I'm expecting it to come down to this balance area here from this value area, and essentially chop around here and see would it be able to get back out of this zone, then targeting back up toward this 109, 110 area, and see would it be able to continue to push up to this area here where it gapped down from, and this is 115, and most likely when it get up to this zone here, we probably get more seller from these trap long up here wanting to get out. And if we do see that, then one might want to look at the possibility, if you're playing long, is to take profit up here. And if you're waiting to short Amazon, then look for the possibility of up at this zone to short it back down to this 110 and possibly this 107 area. Looking at Micron here on this weekly chart on Micron, we can see that there has been a double top here. And last week it broke this double top and came down below it. Right now, basically have to keep an eye on this gap here on this weekly chart here under 60. So we'll be watching this gap. It's quite a vicious down candle last week. And looking at the daily chart of Micron, you can see from this second top here, it gapped down and then it tried to work itself down to this high volume area here. And on Friday, we'll basically have a liquidation break and came down to this 62 area here. And this high volume point of control 62.62 on Friday. On coming week, if it break out of this volume area, this value area and break down, then we'd be looking at it to go down and do that gap fill on the weekly chart that we just looked at. But if it come up and break this value area, then look for it to come back up to see would it be able to fill this gap and also tag this point of control here near 66. And for a short is you wait for it to come up here and see would it get rejected at this point of control, and then target it back down into this value area between 63.5 and 62. Then look for a gap fill down near the into the 50s. Let's take a look at this gold miner stock here, Yamana AUY. On this weekly chart here, I'm looking for the potential breakout from this area here, just right above 6.25 or so here. And if you could break out and look at this potential resistance up here, 7, because it came up and got rejected back here on July last year. So right now, if it could break out of this this upper area here above 630 or so, look for this $7 area and see would it be able to get back up above that. And if it is able to get above this 7, then we'll be looking at the possibility it might be moving up to this $9 area on a little bit of a longer term. And looking at Barrick Gold, another gold mining stock here, you can see on Friday, it dipped down and took out this low. And we got a little short squeeze, and it squeezed it back up to this 21 point of control here. See this high volume zone here. So for the coming week, I'm going to be watching this zone here and see would it be able to continue to push and get back above this point of control here on the 2123, and then look for the possibility of having this move up to this area here at this 2040, essentially this particular high volume node here, this point of control, this virgin point of control. And that is for a little bit of a shorter term swing trade. These are some of my trade ideas, and let me know what you think. Remember, there is no right or wrong in this game of trading. What's important is being on the right side of the trade. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up to help promote this video. Good luck, thank you for watching, and stay safe.